This week on Design for You, it's all about compact living as we explore a modern home with a monochromatic color palette and a stylish chic twist. Then Sicelo of Sicelo Interior Design talks us through how he creates art pieces that serve as a unique feature that ties a space together. And Nowadays Interiors shows us an urban home that they've transformed into a peaceful beach house within the city's landscape. We're here to help you bring your dream interior to life right here on Design for You. This compact home features double volume windows, wide angles and a clean and classic color palette. Here to chat to us about how they've created an illusion of space in this house is Asha of Hubo Architecture and Design. Welcome, Asha.
Cool, thanks for having us.
Asha, let's talk first about the client's brief and the vision they wanted for their home.
Okay, what we had to do is really work hard to create an illusion of space, something that feels bigger than it is, something that would be exciting with volumes and levels in order to really create something magical. We had this tiny site that we had to work with to create a larger-than-life Hyde Park house. And the site had these incredible trees sitting on it. And we used the space to highlight those trees and create small courtyards so that this house would feel nestled amongst the trees, but at the same time it would feel like the trees were inside the house.
Before we dig into the things that you've done to create that illusion of space, I want you to unpack for me what larger than life means in this kind of vision and sort of style of the house.
Okay, larger than life follows the clients. Exceptional clients mean they need something that hasn't been seen, something unique. Nowadays, luxury is not size, it's not scale, it's uniqueness.
Right.
So we tried to create something that would feel special, that could host tons of people, be a party house, but at the same time could be intimate, a cocoon when you need it to be.
How would you define the architectural style then, thinking about this brief from the client?
This house is really a modern, compact home, but it has to be fresh. It's a fresh, modern house.
And by fresh, you mean?
I mean that it's unique.
Now, digging deeper into those things that you've done to create this space, what characterizes these architectural elements that make the space?
Look, there's a neutral color palette, so it's a black and white house. That was what the brief of the client was, which is also exciting. It kind of catalyzed some of the motions that we took. A black and white house means that colors aren't talking, but space is talking.
Right.
And that was exciting for us. So we were able to create exciting level changes, exciting staircases that split spaces. And through doing so, we were able to create some sort of volumetric experience.
Volumetric experience, I love that. Now, digging deeper into this color palette and what you've done, what are the things that you've, added on to the architecture, the interior architecture specifically, to bring that excitement and uniqueness?
The outside, the green, that's the color that's missing. So there's black, white, green, and a bit of gold. So the green is the outside, and that's the courtyards, and that's the spaces where this house opens up. The house was designed around courtyards, around these beautiful lush trees that were already there on a tiny site. And through grabbing them and bringing them into the house, we were able to really enhance the spaces and the volumes and the actual experience.
Right. Now, talking to that interior architecture, the things that you've done to open the space up and also add that character and excitement you were talking about, what have you done with the interior architecture?
Like I said, this house is inside out. It has to be. The experience of having 104 square meters to create something like this, it's impossible. So in doing so, we created cavities where the doors can disappear into. In summer, you live between the inside and the outside. Having a compact garden was actually a blessing because we were able to make the space feel like it was part of the house more than ever.
Right, let's take a little break, and a little later you can take me through exactly where my eye can look.
Okay.
We're currently exploring modern compact living with Hubo Architecture. I have Asha here still with me. Asha, we spoke earlier about the levels and the volumes in the space and how you've created an illusion of space, and what a volumetric experience you mentioned. Now let's talk about the things that you've really done in the space to kind of break down the areas and the layout. Where did you begin?
People often think that a small house is easy to design. It's the opposite. Small and compact is the most difficult. It takes the most time, and thought in order to get it right. So when we approached this, we had no choice but to create open plan living on the ground level. With 104 square meters, open plan living isn't going to feel so great, especially when you've still got bedrooms upstairs. So what we did is we used features like our staircase to divide spaces, levels, like a drop-down sunken lounge, to create new experiences. And that's where the volumetric kind of acrobatics come in. You don't want to give everything away right at the beginning. So people come in and they can see down this beautiful line, and they can see through into a courtyard that they're not sure, is that inside, is that outside? We had to use a lot of glass in this house. We had to make use of moments whereby we focus. We use a huge glass panel looking out onto a tree. We have a corner that completely disappears, making it feel like the outside is inside. The house is created to hug the trees. It's an angle, it's hugged by the trees. You walk in and you experience a lower ceiling. One would intuitively think that a lower ceiling is not going to be a good experience, but you've got a vista down. You see angles, the way the glass takes you and leads you down into a lounge. It's open plan living, but it's around the corner. The floor flows through the house completely, and we used very subtle brass partition lines to just create the ends of spaces, even though we don't want the spaces to end. We want them to flow into each other.
Yeah, there is a wonderful sense of infinity, particularly when I start going up the stairs to get to the upstairs area. Was that an idea to link both the upstairs and the downstairs, to use that kind of black wall flowing from the floor upstairs?
Okay, good question. Normally a staircase is just a means of getting up or down. Here it is the actual link. The floor wraps up the stairs, leads you through, arrives at another window, another view of trees. So you experience the upstairs and the downstairs in one fell swoop.
I can actually see that. Now, you speak so passionately about this home. What are some of your favorite elements?
The best part for me is that the garden keeps getting better and it keeps becoming more a part of the house. So the courtyards that we created, they really do just continue to be experiences of the internal. So we really created this dynamic internal-external relationship.
I'm sure there's a lot more detail in the home that we can chat through. I believe we have Alma here from your firm who's worked on the project with you.
Exactly. Alma is going to take you through the real magic of the house.
I look forward to it. Thank you, Asha.
Thank you.
Alma and Asha both worked on the interior design and architecture of this beautiful, modern, compact home. Here to chat to us about the interior design elements is Alma. Welcome, Alma.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Now, Alma, let's talk about the details in this home. Like, firstly, what inspired the look and feel? What did the client want?
So our client really wanted a black and white house, and what we've tried to achieve with the interiors is to emphasize these colors of black and white. And our aim was really to reflect and bring about the client's style and personality. We worked really closely with Dean van Aswegen, and he really helped inform a lot of key pieces in the home.
And he took on the same brief of black and white, and quite strongly too.
Yes, I think black and white can become very cliche, but I think in this home we've made it very fresh and new. We've used rich greens and golds, and we've really tried to emphasize this theme. So we've got this beautiful velvet black couch that's really a centerpiece in this living space, and this exaggerated lamp behind me, and it's really brought the space together.
And this beautiful rug that also kind of lifts off the floor, that's also not by mistake. Let's talk about the center part of this living room.
So we've selected this rug, which is a bit lighter and contrasts off the floor, and it has a really great texture. We've chosen different shapes and sizes of coffee tables with different trimmings and gold and timber, different materials that really bring the centerpieces together. Black and white is all about contrast. We've used the furniture to either enhance or contrast.
Right. Now, the kitchen is also something that you've designed in this home. It has such depth and its darkness and a wonderful intimacy and infinity. Tell me about what you've done in the kitchen.
Yes, and what really makes the kitchen feel bigger is the lights that are coming down, a backdrop of light, a flood of light. Yeah. And it makes it really, really warm and cozy. It's a black kitchen. It's strong, but it's small, and that's what really makes it work.
And in your choice of materials that you've used for the cabinetry, what informed those choices and what's inspired that?
We've gone for a matte finish, a seamless look. We have no handles, which makes it really chic and modern.
It does come together quite beautifully and seamlessly, so that's a wonderful job, well done. We'll continue chatting in just a bit.
Thank you.
If you've just tuned in, I still have Alma and Asher with us chatting us through the work that they've done in this wonderful, modern, compact home. Alma, I haven't asked you this question. What are your favorite elements in this house?
I really love the floating elements. I love how the stairs float between the ground and the first floor, and I love how the fireplace is this huge piece of wall that's just floating in the middle of the living space.
Now, Asher, tell us what rules you guys have broken in creating these spaces. What are the interesting things to note?
Cool. One of the main rules we broke is that we invited the client into the design process. So we engaged wholly with our client and made sure that they really had their say. We took the elements that they loved and their taste, and then we tried to embody a house that represented them.
Now, Alma, what would you say is what you should be most proud of as Hubo?
What I really like is these wide angles and how it's created these spaces. It's made this house feel much bigger, as you've said, and it's really opened up the house, and what was once such a small property has become luxury.
I can't believe you've transformed a 104 square meter space to feel like a large mansion in the neighborhood. I think it's a wonderful job, well done. I mean, I would love to live in a home like this one day. It's fluid, it's seamless, it's consistent, and it just is what it is. The contrast, the beauty of the black and white is just magical. So well done to you, and thanks again for hosting us here.
Cool, thanks so much for having us.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.